The champagne flute slipped from my fingers, shattering against the stone path, like my composure. Ethan's eyes, those storm-gray eyes I'd known since we were kids building forts in the backyard, locked onto mine with a desperation that pinned me in place. "I love you, Alex," he whispered, the words slicing through the laughter of arriving guests. "And I can't watch you stand there pretending you're okay with being invisible anymore." I stumbled back, my heart slamming against my ribs as if it were trying to escape the tuxedo my mom had insisted was perfectly straight-laced. The garden at the Willow Creek Vineyard in Napa Valley buzzed with pre-wedding chaos. Waiters weaving through ants in pastel dresses, my brother Jake barking orders at the florist, and somewhere, my date, Sarah, probably scrolling through her phone, oblivious. But Ethan didn't move. He stood there, tie loosened just enough to reveal the pulse jumping in his throat, his best man boutonniere, a single white rose, wilting slightly under the late afternoon sun. "Ethan, what the hell?" My voice came out strangled, barely above the string quartet tuning up nearby. We'd been best friends for 20 years, since that awkward summer camp where he defended me from the bullies who called me Four Eyes for my thick glasses. He'd always been the steady one, the guy who patched me up after skateboarding fails and dragged me to parties when I wanted to hide in my comics. But this was a bomb he'd been carrying alone, and now it was detonating right before Jake's vows to Emily. He ran a hand through his dark hair, the kind that always fell just right no matter how many times he messed it up. "I didn't plan this. God, Alex, I've tried everything. Dates that go nowhere, burying it under work, under jokes. But seeing you here, smiling through the pain like you always do, I can't anymore." His laugh was bitter, self-deprecating. "Worst timing ever, right? Your brother's big day, and I'm the idiot best man spilling my guts." I glanced toward the arched trellis where Jake and Emily would exchange rings in less than an hour. The vineyard rolled out in golden rows, the air thick with the scent of ripening grapes and fresh-cut peonies. It was supposed to be perfect, a celebration of love in the heart of California's wine country. My family had flown in from Seattle, Mom with her endless photo ops, Dad pretending he wasn't checking stock prices on his phone, and Jake, the golden boy, finally settling down. I'd flown solo from New York, dragging Sarah along as arm candy to fend off Mom's questions about why I was still single at 28. But Ethan knew the truth. He knew about the late-night calls after my last breakup, the ones where I'd admit how hollow it all felt. Sarah was great, smart, funny, with that laugh that lit up rooms, but it was like wearing someone else's skin. Comfortable, but not mine. And now, with Ethan's confession echoing in my skull, everything sharpened into focus. The way his hand had lingered on my shoulder during the rehearsal dinner. The inside jokes that felt heavier lately. The way he'd look at me when he thought I wasn't watching. "Alex," Sarah's voice cut through, bright and oblivious as she waved from the appetizer table. She was in a sleek blue dress that hugged her curves, her blonde hair pinned up with wildflowers. "Come try this, Brie. It's to die for." I forced a smile, waving her off. "In a sec." To Ethan, I hissed, "We can't do this now. Jake's counting on you." "Hell, I'm counting on you to not make me look like a fool up there." His face crumpled, just for a second, before he schooled it into that easy grin he wore like armor. "Yeah, best man duties. Smile and don't drop the rings." He clapped my shoulder, the touch electric, then turned toward the groomsmen huddle. But as he walked away, I caught the slump in his shoulders, the way his steps dragged like he was leaving a piece of himself behind. The ceremony started flawlessly. Jake, beaming in his tailored suit, stood under the trellis with Emily, her veil catching the sunlight like a halo. Guests murmured approvals, phones discreetly recording. I stood to Jake's left as his brother and unofficial second-best man, Ethan on his right, both of us holding our roles like lifelines. But every time I glanced his way, our eyes snagged. His pleading, mine panicked. Emily's vows were poetry, promises of forever wrapped in shared dreams. Jake's were simpler, heartfelt, cracking on the word home. The officiant beamed. And now, the rings. Ethan fumbled the velvet pillow, just slightly, his fingers trembling as he passed it to Jake. Our gazes locked again, and in that split second, the world narrowed. I saw it all. The boy who'd shared his sleeping bag during thunderstorms, The teen who'd come out to me first in a whispered confession over stolen beers. The man who'd built a life in San Francisco's tech scene while I chased ad-exec dreams in Manhattan. He'd dated women, men, whoever made the loneliness bearable, but never seriously. Not like this. The kiss sealed it. Cheers erupted, petals raining down. But as the crowd surged forward, Ethan vanished into the throng, leaving me adrift. The reception tent glowed with fairy lights, tables laden with Dungeness crab and artisanal cheeses. Toasts flowed. Mom's teary ramble about family. Emily's maid of honor gushing over Jake's hidden romantic side. When it was my turn, I raised my glass, voice steady. To Jake and Emily. May your love be as unbreakable as Jake's terrible golf swing. Laughter rippled. But Ethan, at the head table, only sipped his wine, eyes fixed on the tablecloth. Sarah tugged my sleeve later, her breath warm with Merlot. You okay? You've been spacey since the vows. I pulled her into a slow dance, the band crooning some old Sinatra tune. Just brother stuff? Weddings make you think. Her head rested on my shoulder, and for a moment, it was easy, normal. But as we swayed, I spotted Ethan across the floor, twirling a cousin with that effortless charm. His smile didn't reach his eyes. By midnight, the party thinned. Jake pulled me aside near the fire pits, Emily tucked against him. Thanks for everything. Bro means the world having you here. His hug was fierce, whiskey-scented. You and Sarah look good out there. When's your turn? I laughed it off, one crisis at a time. But as they wandered off, Ethan's words clawed back in. I loved you. Always. I found him on the vineyard's edge, silhouetted against the moonlit vines, a half-smoked cigarette dangling from his fingers, a habit he'd kicked years ago. Hey, I said, approaching like he was a wild animal. He didn't turn. Shouldn't you be with Sarah? Fireworks start soon. She's tipsy dancing with your sister. Figured I'd check on the guy who just dropped a love bomb on me. I sat on the low stone wall beside him, the night's chill seeping through my slacks. Talk to me, Ethan. Really? He exhaled smoke, the tip glowing orange. What's to say? It's out. Done. Go back to your life, Alex. Pretend it was the champagne talking. But it wasn't. The words escaped before I could stop them. He froze, and I rushed on. I mean, why now? Why me? You've got options. That guy from the gym, the one with the tattoos. Distractions, he cut in, voice raw. They don't stick because it's always been you. Since we were 15 and you punched that jerk for calling me a fag. You didn't even know what it meant, but you had my back. And every day since, you've been my North Star. Even when you didn't see it. My throat tightened. Memories flooded. Late-night drives after college, him crashing on my couch during breakups, the way he'd light up describing his latest app idea. Friendship, pure and unexamined. Until now. I don't know what to do with this, I admitted, staring at the stars pricking the sky. Sarah's great, but it's like I'm going through motions. And you, God, Ethan, your family. His laugh was hollow. Yeah, the family friend who wants to kiss you stupid. Fireworks cracked overhead, bursts of red and gold painting his face. In the flash, I saw the hurt, the hope he'd buried for years. And something in me shifted, a crack in the facade I'd built around normal. The drive back to the city the next morning was a blur of winding roads and awkward silence. Jake and Emily headed to Big Sur for their honeymoon, waving from their convertible like movie stars. Mom fussed over leftovers. Dad grumbled about traffic. Sarah kissed my cheek goodbye at the airport shuttle, promising texts. Call me when you're back in the concrete jungle. Ethan drove me to SFO, his SUV smelling of leather and faint cologne. We'd barely spoken since the vineyard edge, the confession a ghost between us. As he pulled up to departures, I gripped the door handle. This doesn't have to ruin us. He nodded, jaw tight. It won't. Fly safe, Alex. But as I walked away, his taillights fading, I felt the pull, like a tether snapping taut. Back in New York, the city swallowed me whole. Deadlines at the agency piled up. Pitches for organic energy drinks. Mood boards for millennial skincare. Sarah visited twice, our dinners turning into Netflix marathons that ended in polite goodnights. She sensed the distance, chalked it to work stress. You're brooding like a character in one of those indie films, she'd tease. But it was Ethan. Texts started sparse, memes about bad weddings, links to dumb videos, then dried up. A week in, I caved, calling him during my lunch break in Bryant Park, pigeons scattering as I paced. "Missed your voice," he answered, background noise of clacking keyboards. "Likewise." I hesitated. "About Napa." "Don't." His tone sharpened. "I meant it, but I get it. You're straight, I'm the sidekick. Let's not autopsy it." "You're not." I stopped, the word sidekick stinging. "Come visit. Crash at my place. We can. Figure it out." Silence stretched. Then soft, "Yeah, maybe." He arrived 2 weeks later, duffel slung over his shoulder, that same easy grin masking the tension. My apartment overlooked the East River, a shoebox with exposed brick and too many takeout menus. We fell into old rhythms. Pizza from the corner spot, binging true crime docs, him mocking my protein shakes. But touches lingered, a brush of knees under the coffee table, his hand steadying me during a laugh. One night, rain lashing the windows, we cracked open a bottle of Napa Cabernet Jake had gifted. To bad decisions, Ethan toasted. I clinked glasses. To honest ones. The alcohol loosened tongues. He talked about growing up gay in a suburb that prized football over feelings, his first crush on the choir boy, the church youth group that made him feel damned. Coming out to you is easy. Everyone else. Like walking a minefield. I shared too, the pressure of being the reliable son, the breakups that left me questioning if love was just a performance. Sarah's texting me good mornings, but it feels scripted. His eyes searched mine. "What do you want, Alex?" "Really?" The question hung, heavy as the storm outside. I leaned in, heart pounding, and pressed my lips to his. It was tentative, exploratory, a spark testing dry tinder. He froze, then responded, hand cupping my neck, the kiss deepening with years of unspoken hunger. We pulled apart, breathless. "Whoa," I whispered. "Yeah." His smile was shaky, wondrous. "Whoa." That night, we didn't cross lines, just talked until dawn, bodies close on the couch, the city humming below. It was the start of unraveling. Weeks blurred into a secret rhythm. Ethan stayed longer each visit, our calls turning intimate. Sarah noticed. "You're glowing," she said over drinks one evening, her eyes sharp. "Spill." "It's nothing. Work hot." Lie tasted bitter. But lies compound. When Mom called, gushing about grandkids, I deflected. Jake texted photos from their honeymoon, all sunsets and seashells. "Your turn, bro." Innocuous, but it twisted the knife. The first crack came via email, an invite to my cousin's engagement party in Seattle. "Family affair. Bring Sarah." Mom added. I showed Ethan, sprawled on my bed after a Giants game. "Go," he said, voice neutral. "Be the son they want." But jealousy flickered in his eyes, and mine mirrored it. Irrational, possessive. I went alone, claiming Sarah had a deadline. The party was a whirlwind of hugs and small talk, Dad cornering me about career moves, aunts probing my eligible bachelor status. Jake pulled me aside during cake cutting. "You seem off. Napa jitters catching up." Something like that. We clinked beers. "How's married life?" "Bliss." But hey, Ethan was weird after the wedding. Snapped at me on a call. "Everything cool." My stomach dropped. "Yeah, just guy stuff." Back in New York, Ethan was waiting, takeout steaming on the counter. "How was the fam?" "Fine." I kissed him, hungry to erase the doubt. But later, tangled in sheets, still no further than kisses and caresses, he murmured, "This can't stay hidden forever." I know. Fear coiled. My world was straight lines, job, family, expectations. Ethan was the curve, beautiful but disruptive. The storm hit during Pride Month. Ethan flew in for the parade, his first time marching with me. We'd planned it casual, float hopping, rainbow flags waving. But as we wove through Manhattan's throngs, confetti raining, a familiar voice shattered the joy. "Alex." Sarah stood frozen, arm-linked with her best friend Mia, both in glittery tanks. Her eyes flicked from me to Ethan, the easy arm around my waist. "Sarah." "Hey." Heat flooded my face. She recovered, smile brittle. "Fun coincidence. Ethan's in town." "Yeah. Visiting." The lie stuck. We exchanged awkward pleasantries, but her gaze lingered on Ethan's hand, casual on my back. As she walked away, waving, I felt the fracture widen. That night, over falafel in the village, Ethan pushed. "Tell her. Or them. Someone. It's complicated. I poked at my plate. Mom would freak. Dad. He'd just go quiet, like I disappointed him. And me? Am I the complication? No. Panic rose. You're everything. But this, us, it's new. I need time. His nod was resigned. Time's what got us here. The next morning, my phone buzzed. Sarah. Coffee. Need to talk. We met at our spot, a hole in the wall on Bleecker with killer lattes. She stirred hers endlessly. Last night. You and Ethan. It's not just friendship, is it? I stared into my cup, the foam heart mocking me. No. Her laugh was soft, sad. I knew something shifted. Hoped it was us, but she reached across, squeezing my hand. I'm happy for you. Really. But it hurts, Alex. I thought we were building something. We were. Guilt crashed. You're amazing. This isn't about you lacking. It's me waking up. She nodded, tears brimming. Be honest next time. For both your sakes. The breakup was clean, a hug and a promise to stay friends. But ripples spread. Mia, Sarah's confidant, posted a vague tweet about hidden truths, and my agency's gossip mill churned. Whispers about the exec with the sudden single status. Ethan held me through it, his steadiness a balm. One step, he said, forehead to mine. We've got this. Summer faded into fall, leaves turning Central Park crimson. We stole weekends, hikes in the Catskills, brunches in Brooklyn. Ethan met my friends, casual introductions as my guy. They embraced it, toasts to finally. But family loomed. Thanksgiving sealed the test. Jake and Emily hosted in their new Portland house, Mom and Dad flying in. Bring Sarah. Mom chirped over the phone. Or whoever's making you smile these days. I swallowed. Actually, Mom, I'm bringing Ethan. Silence, then forced cheer. Wonderful. The more the merrier. The flight west was tense, Ethan's knee bouncing. If it's weird, we bail. But Jake greeted us with bear hugs, Emily with pie samples. Dinner was chaos, turkey dry, wine flowing, stories of Napa mishaps. Ethan charmed, recounting Jake's bachelor party follies. Laughter eased the knot in my chest. Later, by the fire pit, Mom cornered me. Ethan's such a dear. Always has been. Her eyes twinkled, probing. You two seem close. I took a breath. We are. More than friends, Mom. I'm gay. Or bi, whatever the label. But in love with him. Her face blanked, then softened. Oh, honey. Arms enveloped me, tight and unconditional. I worried you'd never let yourself feel it. Dad joined, gruff. As long as he's good to you. A clap on Ethan's back later sealed it. Not everyone been easy. An aunt's offhand phase. At Christmas drew Ethan's sharp retort, tension flaring. Whispers at family barbecues tested us. Old prejudices surfacing like weeds. But we faced them, hands clasped under tables, voices united. The real climax brewed in spring. Ethan's startup pitched to a venture firm. High stakes, the kind that could launch him or crush. I flew to SF for the demo, nerves electric. It nailed, handshakes, champagne pops. But in the afterglow, at a rooftop bar overlooking the bay, he dropped to one knee. Not a ring, just a key to his new condo. Move in? Build this for real. Tears blurred the skyline. Yes. Misunderstandings lingered, a jealous ex of Ethan's stirring drama via anonymous emails, dredging my straight past. Prejudices from a colleague at work, sidelining me for a promotion with sly fit comments. Friendships strained, like Mia's cool distance post Sarah. But love forged us stronger. Jake's first anniversary toast? To the brothers who found their truths. Mom's pride flag in the yard. Our first joint vacation, road trip to Yosemite, stars blanketing tents as we whispered futures. The confession at Napa? It didn't just change everything. It revealed what was always there, waiting in the light. Sweat beaded on my forehead despite the crisp Napa morning as I adjusted my tie for the umpteenth time in the mirror of the groomsman's suite. Jake burst in, all grins and nerves, clapping my back hard enough to rattle my teeth. Big day, little bro, don't screw up my spotlight. I forced a laugh, but my reflection screamed fraud. Eyes shadowed from a sleepless night, jaw clenched like I was bracing for impact. The Vineyard Stone Lodge hummed with last-minute frenzy. Emily's laughter echoing from the bridal room. Uncles arguing fantasy football by the coffee urn. But beneath it all, Ethan's confession pulsed like a second heartbeat. threatening to drown out the vows. It had started innocently enough, or so I told myself. We'd grown up in the same Seattle cul-de-sac, inseparable from the jump. Ethan, with his quick wit and endless energy, was the spark to my steady flame. High school saw us navigating crushes and classes together. He with secret sketches of boys in his notebooks, me with fumbling dates that ended in awkward curfews. College split us. Him to Stanford for computer science, me to NYU for advertising. But summers bridged the gap, cross-country drives packed with mixtapes and what-ifs. Now, at 28, those what-ifs had teeth. After the airport drop-off, I'd buried myself in work, sketching campaigns for a vegan leather brand that felt as fake as my smiles. Sarah's texts piled up, flirty emojis, invites to gallery openings. But replying felt like scripting a role I no longer auditioned for. Ethan had gone radio silent after a few memes, and the absence gnawed. A week before Thanksgiving, my phone lit up during a client lunch. Jake. Portland for Turkey Day? Emily's baking. Bring the fam, Sarah too. Will do. I lied, fork midway to my mouth. That night, alone in my apartment with the river glittering mockingly outside, I scrolled Ethan's Instagram. Tech conference panels, beach runs with his dog, captions laced with that dry humor. A story popped. Him at a queer bar in the Castro, arm around a bearded guy, both laughing over shots. Jealousy twisted, sharp, and unfamiliar. I slammed my phone down, pacing the creaky floors. By dawn, I'd booked a flight to SF. No plan, just impulse. Ethan answered his door in sweatpants, hair tousled, surprise widening his eyes. Alex? What's? Can't stop thinking. I stepped inside, the door clicking shut like a verdict. His place was pure him, minimalist with pops of color, neon art prints, a shelf of dog-eared sci-fi. We stood there, inches apart, the air thick. About. His voice was cautious, but hope flickered. You. Us. Whatever this is. I closed the gap, hands framing his face. The kiss was fire, urgent, clarifying. He melted into it, fingers threading my hair, a soft groan escaping. We tumbled to the couch, kisses trailing necks, shirts discarded in a heap. But boundaries held. It was exploration, not conquest. Whispers of slow, and yes, built trust, layer by layer. Portland welcomed us with rain-slick streets and the scent of pine. Jake's house was a cozy craftsman, walls lined with wedding photos that now included a candid of Ethan and me. Mid-laugh at the reception. Emily hugged us both, her warmth genuine. Rooms ready. Wines chilling. Dinner was a revelation. Mom, ever the orchestrator, seated us side by side. Conversation flowed. Jake's new job at a microbrewery, Emily's graphic design gigs. Dad even cracked a joke about his golf handicap. But under the table, Ethan's knee pressed mine, a silent anchor. Post-pie, as dishes clattered, Mom drew me to the kitchen. He's good for you, Alex. Lights you up. Her smile was knowing. Don't let fear dim that. I nodded, throat tight, trying not to. The drive back to the airport the next day was lighter, plans bubbling. Joint holidays, maybe a dog adoption. But reality nipped. At security, Ethan kissed my temple. Text me when you land. Always. New York hit like a cold slap, subway delays, pitch meetings where my mind wandered to his laugh. Sarah cornered me Friday, over tapas in Soho. You're different. Distracted. Is it work or someone? I set down my fork, the paella forgotten. Someone. But not how you think. Her brow furrowed. Meaning? Ethan. The name hung. It's him. Has been, I guess. Pain flashed, then resolve. Wow. Okay. She exhaled. I care about you, Alex. Deserve the truth sooner, but I'm glad you found it. We parted friends, the breakup a gentle untethering. Relief washed in, mingled with grief for what might have been. Holiday cards arrived with family updates. Mom's note tucked in, proud of you. Love wins. Ethan's came separate, a sketch of us as superheroes, capes billowing. To my sidekick, it read. I framed it. Winter deepened, snow blanketing the city in hush. We rang in the new year via video, him in SF with friends, me at a low-key party. To us, we toasted through screens, the distance a tease. Valentine's, he surprised me. Red-eye flight, landing with roses and a grin. We wandered the high line, breath fogging, hands linked against the chill. "Missed this," he murmured, pulling me close. "Me too." The kiss tasted of promise. But shadows crept. Ethan's ex, Jordan, a volatile graphic designer from his Stanford days, reached out via DM. "Heard you're the new flavor. Careful, he burns hot, fades fast." I showed Ethan, rage simmering. "Ignore it." Jordan's bitter, but doubt-seated. Late calls turned probing. "What if I'm the fade?" "You're not." He cupped my face. "You're the fire." Spring brought bloom and burst. My promotion came with a catch: relocation pitch to the LA office. "Think about it," my boss urged. "Bigger sandbox." Ethan's startup hit a snag. Investors balking at projections. "Need to grind," he said, exhaustion lining his voice. We met halfway in Vegas for a weekend reset. Neon chaos, shows, no clocks. In our suite overlooking the Strip, we talked futures. LA could be good, he said. Closer to wine country. Us. I traced his jaw. Us first. The dam broke on a hike in the Red Rocks, dust kicking under boots. "Marry me." Not on knee, but earnest, ringless. "Not now, someday." "But commit." Tears stung. "Yes, someday now." Back home, Harmony hummed. Jake visited, toasting with IPAs. "You too?" Endgame. Mom sent clippings, LGBTQ plus ally events, a pride pin for my lapel. Yet conflict simmered. At a work gala, a senior VP cornered me. "Heard about your..." I confronted him later, HR in tow. "My life doesn't factor your deals." Ethan stood by, calls steadying my shake. "Proud of you." Summer solstice, we hosted a barbecue, friends mingling, rainbows fluttering. Sarah came, hug genuine. Happier than I've seen. As dusk fell, Ethan pulled me aside. "Remember Napa?" "How could I forget?" Laughter bubbled. "That bomb. Best one I dropped." I kissed him fierce. Detonated perfectly. Life wove on. Adoptions, a mutt named Scout, trips, Maine lighthouses, quiet nights coding beside sketches. Prejudices faded to echoes, misunderstandings to lessons. The confession? It didn't end the story. It began ours. Ethan's key burned a hole in my pocket as I boarded the red-eye to New York, the hum of engines a lullaby for my racing mind. The proposal, informal, heartfelt, had sealed something profound during that Vegas escape, but reality waited like a stern parent. My LA offer loomed, a glittering temptation with strings. Uproot, climb, conform. Ethan's startup teetered on funding cliffs, demanding his all in the Bay Area. "We'll make it work," he'd promised, lips brushing mine in the casino glow. But distance whispered doubts. Touchdown at JFK brought gray drizzle and a text from Jake. "Portland Brew Fest next month. Double date. Emily's edition. Bring the lovebirds." Their ease chafed my uncertainty, newlyweds in sync, while we navigated uncharted waters. Work swallowed days, revisions for a soda rebrand, lunches blurred into calls. Evenings, Ethan and I pieced normalcy via FaceTime. Him in hoodies amid whiteboards, me in suits amid skyscrapers. "Miss your face," he'd say, grin crooked. Mine too, but screens flattened intimacy, turning touches to air. The VP incident festered. HR mediation yielded a slap-on-wrist memo, but whispers lingered in break rooms. "Bold move, Whitaker." I doubled down, pitching bolder, proving worth beyond labels. Still, isolation crept. Colleagues' invites dried, replaced by polite nods. Sarah bridged gaps, coffee meetups laced with gentle probes. "How's the heartthrob?" She'd tease, eyes kind. "Complicated." I'd vent. The pull of coasts, the fear of drifting. She'd listen, then nudge, "Fight for it. You deserve the mess." Mid-May, Ethan's breakthrough call came at 2 a.m. my time. Funding locked. Series A baby. Whoops echoed, his team cheering faint. I bolted upright, joy surging. SF celebration? Flight booked. Your couch awaits. He arrived whirlwind. Bottle of Napa Red. Stories of nail-biting pitches. We uncorked on my fire escape, city lights winking approval. To empires, I toasted. To us, building one. His kiss was victory sweet. That weekend, we plotted. Weekend warrior visits. Maybe a shared Pi de Terra. Optimism bloomed, fragile but fierce. Jake's fest was a riot. craft tents steaming with IPAs, food trucks hawking elk burgers. Emily linked arms with me, conspiratorial. Spill, wedding bells soon. I chuckled, glancing at Ethan sampling a hazy pale ale with Jake. Someday. He's the patient type. Good. You need that. Her squeeze lingered. Happier, Alex. It's showing. The four of us wandered, sun dappling the Willamette paths. Laughter flowed easy, Jake's bad puns, Ethan's tech tangents. But a text mid-afternoon soured it. Mom. Aunt Clara's ill. Family summit soon. Bring Ethan. Worry nodded. Clara, fiery widow, queen of barbecues, had been Mom's rock through Dad's heart scare last year. On it, I replied. Ethan caught my frown. Everything okay? Family curveball. I pocketed the phone. But tonight? Yours. We crashed at Jake's, guest room cozy with flannel sheets. In the dark, his head on my chest, I confessed the LA bind. Feels like choosing. No choosing. We adapt. His fingers traced my ribs. Like always. Clara's summit was code for intervention. Her cancer diagnosis, stage 3, pancreatic. The Seattle house brimmed with kin, cousins from Tacoma, Dad's brother from Boise. Mom orchestrated casseroles, her smile brittle. Ethan fits seamless, charming aunts with coding anecdotes, helping Dad with yard work. But Clara pulled me aside during tea, her grip frail. Heard the Napa tale from Jake. Brave kid. Love like that's rare, don't squander. Won't. Tears pricked. How you holding? Day by day. She winked. You too. Her words echoed as we drove home, rain sheeting windshields. She's right, Ethan said. About not squandering. June sweltered, pride parading Manhattan in rainbows. We marched again, hands clasped, signs reading love unfiltered. Cheers buoyed, but a heckler's slur from the crowd. Sick freaks. Landed like shrapnel. Ethan stiffened, but I squeezed. Noise. We're louder. Post-parade brunch with friends turned therapy. Stories of coming outs, ally fails. Laughter healed. LA decision deadline neared. I toured the office, sunny campus, team lunches on patios. Tempting. But video of Ethan demoing his app prototype tipped scales. Stay, his eyes pleaded silently. I declined, citing roots. Boss nodded, sage. Smart. New York's your stage. Relief flooded, but ripples hit Ethan. Selfish. I asked over celebratory tie. No. Us. But his hug held hesitation. Jordan resurfaced then, email chain leaked to Ethan's board, dredging old flames. Unstable partner, one investor queried. Ethan raged in a call. Past is past. I flew west, storming his office. Fire me if needed. But I'm in. Board meeting cleared air, my pitch on personal growth mirroring product evolution won nods. Funding held. July 4th, we escaped to the Cape, borrowed cabin, lobster boils, waves crashing. Fireworks burst over dunes as we walked beach, barefoot. Ring soon, he teased. Soon. Promise sealed with salt-kissed lips. Clara's decline accelerated. August visit. Hospice bed, morphine haze. She rallied for stories, Ethan's hand in mine. Vow me, she whispered. Happily ever after. Promise. Last words, love fierce. Her passing shattered, funeral rain lashed, eulogies tear-choked. Mom leaned on me, Dad quiet. Ethan anchored, toasting her spirit at the wake. Fall gilded edges. My agency landed a queer-owned brand account, Progress. Ethan's app launched, downloads soaring. Thanksgiving Redux, Portland, smaller circle. Jake's grace, to Clara, and love's enduring. Post-feast, Ethan and I hiked Forest Park, leaves crunching. Move to SF, he ventured. Halftime, heart swelled. Let's. Packing commenced, sublet whispers, scouts relocation jitters. Sarah helped sort boxes, quips lightning load. Next chapter, Whitaker. With footnotes. Hug grateful. Winter solstice, SF landing. Ethan's condo, views of bridges. Unpacking danced with kisses, life nesting. But climax brewed. New Year's Eve gala. Tech mixer, suits sharp. A rival CEO cornered Ethan. Cute arm candy. Careful, diversity hires tank valuations. Rage boiled. I stepped up, love's my edge. What's yours? Murmurs spread, but allies rallied. Handshakes, cards exchanged. Ethan beamed later. My hero. Resolution dawned gradual. Spring wedding for friends. Vows mirroring ours unspoken. Jake officiated a commitment picnic. Rings simple, promises profound. Napa revisit. 1 year on. Vineyard tour. Ethan's hand in mine under trellis. Full circle. Best bomb ever. Laughter-free. The confession? Catalyst to authenticity. Love, friendship, trials forged unbreakable. We changed, thrived. Sunlight filtered through the eucalyptus blinds of Ethan's condo, casting dappled patterns on the duvet where we lay tangled, scouts snoring at the foot. 6 months into our hybrid life. New York for pitches, SF for prototypes. And the rhythm felt like jazz. Improvisational, harmonious. But as I traced the freckles on his shoulder, Clara's words echoed. Love fierce. A reminder that peace was earned, not given. Coffee brewed. We scrolled headlines. Another equality win in the courts. A startup scandal mirroring Jordan's pettiness. Dodged that bullet. Ethan muttered, kissing my temple. Barely. I sipped, black and bold. Board still eyeing me sideways. Nah. Your TEDx talk on inclusive branding? Goal. His pride warmed deeper than caffeine. My talk, impromptu invite after the gala dust up, had gone viral in niche circles, landing consulting gigs. Balance tilted. Ethan's app hit user milestones. My career pivoted to purpose-driven work. Yet family threads tugged. Mom called mid-morning, voice bright. Seattle for Memorial Day? Dad's grilling. Jake's bringing the nugget. Ethan overheard, mouthing nugget, code for Emily's surprise pregnancy reveal last month. Wouldn't miss. Click. Barbecue gauntlet. He laughed. Bring your A game. Aunt vibes incoming. Seattle welcomed with fairy mists and market bustle. Jake's house now sported a nursery mural, elephant parade, soft blues. Hugs abounded. Emily radiant despite the bump. Feel that. She guided my hand to a kick. Wonder bloomed. Ethan bonded instant with Jake over dad prep, diaper disasters, midnight feeds. Dad pulled me for a walk, Puget Sound lapping. Proud son. Clara to prove. Miss her. Throat caught. She'd say, live loud. His arms slung heavy, affirming. Barbecue smoked with salmon and stories. Ethan's potato salad earning raves. But an uncle, boozy, opinionated, sidled up. Heard you're shacking up. City's liberal, but family? Traditional stock. Ethan stiffened beside me, but I met eyes steady. Tradition evolves. Ours does, with love. Murmurs, then deflection to sports. Tension dissolved in pie slices. Post-holiday, momentum built. I sublet my New York place permanent, shipping books and art. Sarah hosted a send-off, rooftop, skyline farewell. To coasts conquered, she toasted, clinking Prosecco. Miss our rants. Embrace tight. Visit. Always room. SF settled. Farmers market Saturdays. Hikes in Marin. Nights coding beside reading. Scout adapted. Fetch games in Golden Gate Park. Friends folded us in. Queer game nights. Couples brunches. But conflict stirred subtle. Ethan's co-founder, Riley, a sharp non-binary coder with tattoos and trust issues, challenged dynamics. Bringing boyfriends to meetings? Distraction risk. They quipped at a team dinner, half jest. Ethan bristled. Alex's asset, not arm candy. I diffused, happy to consult pro bono. Laughter eased, but Riley's gaze lingered skeptical. Home, Ethan vented. Riley's projecting, bad breakup last year. Boundaries blur in startups. I massaged his shoulders. Talk it out. He did. Next, all hands. Vulnerability shares. Trust rebuilds. Riley apologized over tacos. Overstepped. You're solid. Summer scorched, wildfires hazy. We escaped to Big Sur, cabin perch, ocean roar. Days kayaking coves, nights stargazing. One evening, cliffside picnic, Ethan produced a box, velvet, unassuming. Ring, breath hitched. Promise. Silver band, etched vines, Napa knot. When ready. Slipped on, perfect fit. Ready now. Vows whispered to waves. Fidelity, adventure, home in each other. Return brought blaze. App update crashed servers. User fury, reviews tanking. Ethan pulled all-nighters. I juggled remote pitches. Strain showed. Snapped words over dinner, silence is heavy. Pressure's warping us, I said one dawn, coffee cold. He nodded, hollow. Feels like Napa Redux. Timing off. Not off. Deeper. Therapy app session booked. Neutral ground. Tools for tension. Counselor, virtual and warm. Unpacked. Communication blocks from our fixer pasts. Homework. Weekly check-ins. No judgment zones. It worked. Slow thaw. Date nights enforced. Sushi trains. Improv shows. Intimacy rebuilt. Emotional first. Fall foliage painted escapes. Portland baby shower. Gender-neutral whimsy. Onesies galore. Jake teared at Ethan's gift. Custom app for milestone tracking. Uncle material, he joked. Emily pulled me aside. You're glowing. That ring. Promise piece. Grin shared. Thanksgiving. Expanded. Seattle crew plus Riley. Bridging worlds. Tables groaned. Turkey, tofurkey, debates lively. Uncle mellowed. Toasting evolutions. December chilled. Holidays twinkled. SF tree lighting. Hands gloved and linked. Mom's gift. Scrapbook. Childhood snaps. Napa confession doodle from Jake. Your story. Note read. Ethan's eyes misted. Frame it. Christmas Eve, his parents arrived. Divorced but cordial, from Sacramento suburbs. Dinner formal at first. Small talk on weather, wines. But Ethan's mom, soft-spoken librarian, cornered me. He speaks of you always. Thank you. His dad, retired mechanic, clapped backs. Treat him right, kid. Resolution felt tangible. New Year dawned resolutions. Joint gym, travel fund. But curveball, my agency-eyed SF expansion, lead role offered. Full circle, Ethan said, clinking mimosas. Home. Climax crested subtle. Arrival app poached Riley, leaking code snippets. Betrayal stung, lawsuits loomed. Ethan spiraled. My fault. Trusted too quick. I anchored. Rebuild stronger. Together. Crisis forged. Code audits. Team huddles. My marketing spin on secure evolution. Users rallied. Loyalty deepened. Spring equinox. We revisited Napa. Private tour. Vows renewed under trellis. Jake officiated impromptu. Emily videographer. Rings exchanged. Simple bands now matched. Changed everything. Ethan whispered. For better. Kiss sealed. Life layered. Jake's son arrived. Chubby-cheeked archer. Uncle Judy's. Burp cloths. Lullabies. Mom's pride swelled. Dad's quiet nods approval. Prejudices? Echoes in news. But ours personal. Conquered. Misunderstandings? Lessons in listening. Friendships? Deepened. Sarah's wedding invite arriving. Your turn next? Love's drama? Ours, gay-capped, profound. The best man's words? Spark to inferno. We burn bright. Archer's wails pierced the baby monitor like tiny air raid sirens. But Jake's text assured us it was just colic. Send coffee prayers. Ethan and I chuckled over breakfast burritos in our sun-drenched kitchen, the Bay Bridge framing our view like a postcard. A year into full SF immersion, the condo had evolved. My comic shelves mingled with his gadget prototypes, Scout's bed wedged by the couch. Stability suited us, a quiet triumph after the startup skirmish. Riley's exit had scarred but strengthened. New hires vetted, code fortified, app rebounding with features users raved about. Yet, beneath the domestic hum, undercurrents stirred. Ethan's birthday loomed, a milestone 30, and with it, unspoken pressures. We'd promised rings, but ceremonies? Logistics tangled, family logistics, work calendars, the weight of forever in a world quick to judge. Mom's hinting big, I said, scrolling her latest email, subtle clippings on destination weddings, rainbow officiants. Ethan grimaced, mid-bite, subtle as a billboard. Mine too, settle the score vibes from Dad. Laughter masked nerves. We'd navigated out speeches, but vows? Public declaration amid potential skeptics. May bloomed with Archer's baptism, neutral, parkside affair. Emily in sundress, Jake beaming. We cooed over the tyke, Ethan's finger dwarfed in tiny grip. Future playdate, Emily winked. Post-ceremony picnic, ants clustered. When's your parade? One trilled, wine loose. Soon. Ethan deflected, squeezing my knee. Planning, I admitted. Quiet maybe. Vineyard. His grin flashed. Napa Redux. Book it. Decision crystallized over wine that night. Intimate. Napa return. Invites digital. Family. Sarah. Core friends. Under 50. Ethan insisted. Us focused. Prep whirl. Suits tailored. Vows penned in stolen moments. Mine. You saw me before I saw myself. Confession and all. His. Whispered drafts. Best man then. Best everything now. June haze. Flight to Napa. Hearts light. Luggage heavy with hopes. Willow Creek welcomed. Same paths. Trellis enduring. Owners remembered. Comping a suite. Rehearsal dinner. Low-key Italian. Laughter flowing. Mom teared at toasts. Dad's short and sweet, drawing chuckles. Sarah arrived solo, fresh from her own engagement. Stole the show last time, she teased Ethan. Don't upstage. Promise. His arm around me anchored. Vows eve, insomnia struck. Ethan paced balcony, stars indifferent. What if doubts creep? Like, am I enough? I rose, pulling him close. You're the hook that reeled me in. Doubts? We bait them together. Dawn broke golden, ceremony hour. Garden bloomed riotous, roses nodding, guests in linens. Jake best man now, ring box steady. Emily matron, bouquet soft. Music swelled, indie folk, acoustic. We walked aisle hand in hand, no divide. Officiant, queer elder with kind eyes, opened. Love defies scripts. Today, they write theirs. Vows exchanged, voices steady. Mine cracking on changed everything. His firm on always. Rings slid, simple gold, vines etched eternal. Kiss ignited cheers, petals whirlwind. Reception tinted joy, toasts heartfelt. Jake's, from wedding crasher to ring bearer, bro, nailed it. Dance floor pulsed, Ethan's lead sure. Night waned, guests departing. Alone under stars, rings glinting, he murmured, husband. Love it. Seal with slow kiss. Honeymoon, Amalfi whispers, clifftop villas, lemon groves. Days lazed, swims in azure, pasta feasts. Nights, talks deep kids. Someday, adoption dreams. Careers, my consultancy firm budding, his app eyeing IPO. Return grounded bliss. Work resumed, client wins, code sprints. But adjustment niggled, titles shifting dynamics. Mr. Whitaker Hayes, a barista quipped, rings spotted. Hayes Whitaker, Ethan corrected, grin proud. Family ripples, mom's scrapbook update, Napa snaps enshrined. Dad's golf invite, bring the hubs. Jake's visits doubled, Archer's giggles therapy. Uncle duty calls, Ethan cooed, bouncing the babe. Fall brought harvest, literal in Napa trips, figurative in growth. My firm signed a nonprofit, LGBTQ plus youth advocacy, campaigns raw and real. Ethan's IPO buzzed, roadshows, suits starched. Stress simmered. What if flop? Won't. Boardroom pep, my mock pitches honed his. Thanksgiving, Portland, Archer toddling, table expanded. Toasts to new chapters, uncles not approving. Winter wonder, SF holidays, tree with ornamented memories, Napa cork, Archer's handprint. Proposal key framed. New year, resolution, family expansion talks. Surrogate, Ethan ventured, tentative. Explore, agencies researched, hearts open. Spring surprise, Sarah's wedding, NYC, spring burst. We flew, best men tandem. Vows echoed ours, her to honest beginnings, not our way. Post-ceremony, rooftop toast, full circle, she said. Yours too. Climax crested unexpected, a health scare. Ethan's checkup flagged anomaly, thyroid shadow, biopsy pending. Waiting rooms blurred, my hand his lifeline. Scared, he admitted, sterile hall. Me too. Huddle close. Whatever, together. Benign, relief tsunami. Post-op, he joked, upgraded hardware. But vulnerability deepened bonds. Therapy revisited, gratitude journals. Summer solstice, anniversary. Napa picnic, trellis picnic. Vows renewed, casual. Still changing everything. Daily. Life layered. Archer's first steps via video. Firm expansion to Portland. Prejudices? Distant news fodder. Misunderstandings? Mended with words. Friendships flourished. Riley's return, freelance ally. Sarah's baby moon invites. Love's drama, plateaued to epic, gay, profound, ours. The best man's confession? Origin story. We, epilogue living. Archer's third birthday dawned with balloon chaos and cake frosting warfare. Jake's backyard a battlefield of streamers and squeals. Ethan wielded a party hat like a crown, directing piñata swings while I manned a grill, burgers sizzling under July sun. Portland's roses nodded approval, Emily's laughter mingling with cousins' shrieks. 3 years post-Napa, our life tapestry wove rich. SF base, frequent flyers to family hubs, a rhythm of boardrooms and playgrounds. But beneath the confetti, ambitions tugged. My consultancy hit scaling pains. Team hires, office hunt. Ethan's IPO loomed autumnal, prospectus thick with projections. Nerves? I asked one dawn, his laptop glow illuminating worry lines. Understatement. He closed it, pulling me across sheets. But we've summited worse. True. Post-biopsy, we'd leaned into legacy. Volunteer stints at youth centers, Ethan's app adding mental health modules, chatbots for coming out scripts, forums moderated safe. Mom's 60th anchored summer, Seattle cruise, inside passage fjords. Cabins cozy, dinners formal. Ethan charmed with trivia wins, Dad's poker rival. But a storm night, deck lashed, Mom confessed. Clara worried you'd hide forever. Glad you didn't. Her nudge. Arm around Ethan, waves rocking. Fall gilded risks. Ethan's roadshow kicked. East Coast blitz, pitches polished. I tagged New York leg, old haunts stirring. Sarah, now mom to twins, hosted dinner. Her wife Lena, chaos of sippy cups. Empire builders, she toasted. Survivors, Ethan countered. IPO priced high, bells rung, confetti Wall Street. SF party erupted. Team toasts, champagne showers. Ethan's speech. To the hook that started it, love's confession. Eyes met mine, crowd blurring. My firm followed, brick and mortar in Mission District, rainbow flag fluttering. Open house drew allies, clients queuing. Winter whispered changes. Holidays hybrid. Portland for Archer's Santa, Seattle for New Year's. Rings glinted in candlelight, Vows casual recitals. Spring bloom news, adoption inquiry greenlit, foster to adopt pipeline. Home study loomed. Interviews probing, house child proofed. Scout-eyed us wary, toys multiplying. Ready? Ethan asked, paperwork stacked daunting. Excited scared. Huddle on couch, dreams voiced. Playdates with Archer, bedtime stories. Process dragged, matches fleeting, hearts tugged. A sibling pair surfaced, boy 6, girl 4, histories heavy. Visits tentative, park picnics, board games. Their wariness mirrored ours once, Napa nerves. They're us, Ethan whispered post-meet. Wary but wanting. Approval came June, court final July. Homecoming. Suitcases unpacked, walls painted murals. Twins, Luca and Mia, arrived shy, suitcases clutched. First dinner. Spaghetti tangles, laughter tentative. Nights rocked, nightmares soothed, questions endless. Why us? Luca asked, bunklit. Because you fit, I said. Like we fit. Ethan's lullabies bridged, his patience infinite. Fall settled family, school runs, PDA meets. Prejudices peaked, playground stares at 2 dads, but Luca's retorts fierce. They're awesome. Thanksgiving feast, expanded table, twins turkey drawing centerpiece. Jake's, family first, toast tiered. Winter holidays, first with kids, tree trimming, elf pranks. Mia's wonder-lit rooms. New Year, resolutions kid-centric. Park memberships, family therapy for transitions. Spring surprise, Sarah's twins' baptism, cross-coast trek. Godparent duties, vows echoed. Climax gentle, school play, Luca as tree, Mia fairy. Front row, hearts swell. Post-show ice cream, Ethan leaned. This. Everything. Summer solstice, Napa pilgrimage, family edition. Kids romped vines, trellis tales retold sanitized. Vows with them. Promise to love, all of us. Life's drama, softened to joy, love's conflicts resolved in routines. But echo lingered. A news piece on conversion camps, hearts ached. We donated, advocated, legacy for Luca, Mia. Anniversaries stacked. 5 Napa, rings worn thin. Jake's Archer started T-ball, Uncle's coaching tandem. Firm thrived. National campaigns, TED invites. Ethan's app global, scholarships funded. Prejudices? Fought collectively, marches with kids and wagons. Misunderstandings? Family therapy mended. Dad's old-school slips aired gentle. Friendships? Lifelines. Riley's godparent nod. Sarah's annual retreats. The confession? Seed to forest. We, branches entwined, thriving. Husband's whisper, dawn lit, still changing. Always. Kiss, world waiting.